We are continuing to follow some breaking news we first told you about at 5 o'clock this evening. San Antonio police responding to a shooting at a shopping center on Southeast Military Drive.
The police department just wrapping up a news conference moments ago. Let's go live to John Paul Barajas at the scene. What have you learned, John Paul?
Well, right now we know that a 30-year-old man has been killed. He was driving this white pickup behind me where the shattered glass is in the driver's side window. But police tell us that he had actually stolen that vehicle and that the people who confronted him were the initial victims. They said he stole it off Braysview earlier this afternoon. The family, the victims who had the truck stolen, then reported the car stolen, but because of AirTags, Apple AirTags, they were able to track the truck, and then they confronted the original suspect. And then after that, the situation escalated to the point where one of the initial victims who confronted the theft suspect thought that the victim or the suspect there had a gun. That's when the original victims of the theft pulled out his gun and started shooting. Right now, police do not know if the initial suspect, the theft of the truck suspect, actually had a gun on him at all. But if you look right behind the bed of the truck, you see a red van, or a little bit of the red van. That back window is also shattered, so you can see, I'm not sure if we have video up or not right now, but if you look at that truck, so multiple rounds were fired. Matt, if you could pan down to these evidence markers right here, you see the number 5, 4, and a few other numbers right there. So multiple rounds or shots were fired. We don't know how many. As far as charges for the family members who came and confronted the original theft suspect, we do not know if they're going to be facing any yet. The police officers have told us that it's still preliminary information. They're still trying to fact check everything, but it is possible. But at this time, they are not facing any charges. The 3 family members who confronted the theft suspect have been taken or have gone to SAPD to give a statement. But again, they are not detained. As for the scene out here, this section of the parking lot and one entrance to the target is blocked off, but traffic on the main roads and the other entrances around the shopping center here are open. But just so you know, there is still an active scene here. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
All right, John Paul, thank you. A leader of one of San Antonio's largest school districts embroiled in abuse allegations after a teenager made an outcry at school.
Court records confirm Northeast ISD board trustee Marsha Landry is accused of physically and verbally abusing her stepson. KSAT Investigates Dylan Collier digs into the fallout.
Less than a year after being sworn in as District 7 trustee of Northeast Independent School District, Marsha Landry is facing allegations of child abuse. The claims laid out in this motion to modify residency filed by the boy's mother in Bexar County State District Court in late January. The filing came weeks after Landry's teenage stepson told a school counselor, science teacher, and special education caseworker at NEISD's Madison High School that his father had hit him with the metal part of a belt, and that trustee Landry had hit him on the back of the head on a regular basis. The child said he was denied food all day when he forgot his lunch money, and that Landry refers to him as, quote, her slave. The filing states a motion to change the child's primary residence was partially granted, although a court official told KSAT this week no final order on the matter has been signed.
A district official confirms NEISD police are not investigating the case. Instead, Madison High School administration have turned over what they were told to Child Protective Services.
A CPS spokeswoman said she had no public information available to release. Landry has not been criminally charged. We made multiple attempts to get comment from her via email, but after not hearing back, we stopped by the district's board meeting Monday night.
Trustee Landry, been trying to reach you. Your response to the court filing?
That's right, huh?
Yeah, it hasn't been called to order yet. So
Okay.
Any response to the allegations against you?
NEISD officials declined to comment on the allegations, but did confirm the child no longer attends Madison High School. For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
A man was wounded after getting into a shootout with police at a Southside park this afternoon. It all happened around 12:30 at Arnold Park, near the intersection of Gillette Boulevard and South Zarzamora. Chief William McManus says officers confronted the suspect at the volleyball courts. McManus said the suspect shot at police at least 12 times. Officers fired back and hit the man. That suspect tried to run but then collapsed. He was taken to a nearby hospital. His condition is unknown tonight. No officers were injured.
Now to another exchange of gunfire between police and a suspect. We have learned the name of a man shot by police after SAPD says that he fired an AR-15 26 times at officers. He is 34-year-old Paul Palafox. San Antonio police say that he shot a man at a car wash on the east side Tuesday, then ran down a residential street and barricaded himself between two cars. That's when SAPD says he fired the AR-15 at officers more than 24 times. We covered it right here yesterday at 6. Officers shot back and Palafox was critically injured. One neighbor wasn't comfortable going on camera, but she says that she saw all of this play out in her own front yard.
I saw him across the street with a gun, and he started shooting the gun up in the air and whirling it around. It was scary, you know, it was scary. It was scary. I'm still scared about it.
Palafox has a criminal history, including aggravated robbery and deadly conduct with a firearm. If he survives his injuries, he'll likely be charged with attempted capital murder of a police officer.
A man has been arrested in connection with a group of migrants that were found trapped in a train car near Canipa. A criminal complaint from Homeland Security Investigations shows Daniel Carranza Gonzalez was arrested for the incident that left 2 men dead. He's been charged with conspiracy to transport illegal aliens, resulting in death. The document says he told authorities he was a foot guide for the migrants. A bar owner facing eminent domain to make way for the Alamo plan says he's prepared for a legal battle if the state can't meet his price. Moses Rose's hideout sits in the footprint of a planned visitors and museum. It is owner Vince Cantu who turned down several offers to buy that he saw were too low. So back in February, the city council approved the use of eminent domain to take over the property on the state's behalf. Negotiations aren't technically dead quite yet, but the two sides still appear to be millions of dollars apart. Cantu says if the state can't make an offer he likes, he'll fight them in court.
We don't think they have the power to eminent domain us. The law doesn't show that you can eminent domain for economic development. You can't eminent domain unless it's a public use. And they want to build a theater, which is not a public use.
Cantu's current best and final offer was for at least $10 million. 6 for the property, 4 for the business. He says the state has already rejected it.
Let's take a look outside with live cam. Pretty gray all day. Feels a little damp out there as well, Adam.
And you know what, Myra, on this camera here, I've been watching it. There have been a few little drops and droplets from time to time, but nothing that you're really going to notice here at the ground, really, and nothing you're going to see on radar. We had a high temperature of 65. Right now, we're cloudy and 64 degrees. Don't expect the temperature to fall much through the rest of the evening and into the night. Uvalde, Hondo, 65, where we've had some sun, Del Rio, 74, and Eagle Pass at 70 degrees. But for the most part, in and around San Antonio, we're in the low to mid 60s. Converse at 65, New Braunfels, 68. And notice those temperatures just falling off a few degrees through the evening, remaining cloudy, but the humidity will be on the rise, and that's going to cause some noticeable changes, more than just the feeling of mugginess in the air. I'm going to get into that in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Adam. We'll see you in a few minutes. Let's take a look outside right now with TransGuide camera. This is the I-10 and ProBant camera. You can see in both directions, a little slow going, but there's no real big tie-ups, no big traffic issues from this view.
Healthy 1 minute and unable to stand the next. That is the case for people with POTS, a disorder often associated with autoimmune diseases.
And a new study shows that COVID may be causing POTS in some people. A patient tells Courtney Friedman that her life was derailed by long COVID symptoms, which included this disorder.
Jennifer Ramey lived an extremely active life, running marathons, hiking mountains, and working as a cardiac nurse for 12 to 14-hour shifts. Then in December 2020, she got COVID. 2 months later, she was diagnosed with long COVID.
A lot of cognitive issues, a lot of blood pressure, ups and downs, temperature changes.
One of the conditions she ended up with is called POTS, a sudden reduction in blood flow returning to the heart after standing up.
I passed out a couple times in the beginning.
Half of POTS cases are caused by infections, and a study just released shows a spike in POTS diagnoses following COVID infections.
It's become increasingly common with, a lot of especially women who are younger.
Dr. Monica Verduzco Gutierrez with UT Health San Antonio is one of the nation's top experts on long COVID, running 2 clinics here in San Antonio with months-long wait lists. A handful of her patients have POTS and other related autoimmune disorders.
And some of these patients, it took almost a year to get the diagnosis. And they were suffering for a year, or being told that they had something else, or that it was nothing, or just drink more water and you'll be fine, or, oh, your heart looks fine.
That's why the conversation about long COVID needs to continue.
The new variants are still causing symptoms in patients and still definitely causing the dysautonomia or the POTS. We're definitely seeing that even with the quote unquote mild variants.
And that's my goal, is for people to know it is real.
Ramey had to quit the job she loved, now on disability, trying to gain strength back and undergo different treatments.
When you lose your life, your identity, everything changes.
She hopes research continues to quicken diagnosis and improve treatments. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Still ahead here on the news at 6, it's been nearly 5 decades since the last American soldier was pulled out of Vietnam. Up next, hear from a local Vietnam veteran who says he would do it all over again.
Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on the Night Beat.
What USA is doing today and what's happening across the nation is we're honoring Vietnam veterans who fought in that war.
Honoring the millions of military service members who fought in the Vietnam War will show you how one of San Antonio's largest employers helped pay tribute. And our crew is also speaking with several veterans today. You can read more about our conversations right now on KSAT.com.
And almost 50 years ago today, the last American troops were pulled out of Vietnam, and that signaled the end of the U.S. involvement in what turned out to be one of the longest wars in history.
In commemoration of National Vietnam War Veterans Day, our Jonathan Cotto visits with a Purple Heart recipient who says if he had to do it all again, even through all the tears and hurt, he would.
It was April 26, 1968, and Operation Delaware, a joint military operation, had just launched days before. Almost 55 years later, Vietnam veteran Alfred Elsner still recalls the battles in the hills of A Shau Valley in Vietnam.
And we were supposed to be the first ones to go in there and try to secure A Shau Valley. We never made it.
The Vietnam War, described as one of the longest wars and also one of the most brutal. More than 50,000 American troops killed.
I don't walk out of this house without remembrance of it. You know, this is the guy that saved my life 55 years ago, and I wear it every day. I don't leave the house without it.
PFC Dennis E. Purcell, killed in action 4/26/1968. PFC Dennis E. Purcell.
Thank you. Dennis is alive now because you read that.
Elsner was injured that same day and says his survival was unimaginable.
The bullet went in right here and blew out most of the bones all the way across, so I had 13 surgeries on that hand.
The increasing number of American casualties making the Vietnam War not the most popular.
I remember people just turning away when we go through the airport. They didn't want to look at us.
On March 29, 1973, the last American combat troops left Vietnam. That was 50 years ago. But Elsner says he's never left.
I visit Vietnam every day. It was a big part of my life.
Whether drafted or volunteered, Elsner says back then everyone who served thought they were really doing some good for the world.
But when you get in that war, all you're protecting is your buddy over there. He's the guy you care about the most. It's your buddies that are surrounding you. And that's who you want to win that battle for.
Jonathan Koto reporting.
Yeah, and just even 50 years later, a huge thank you to everybody who served and still is doing so. Let's turn to the forecast right now. Somebody may roll their eyes at me, but I'm going to say it was a little chilly outside today. I'm going to say it. It was damp. It was gray.
I'm not rolling my eyes.
I needed the jacket.
We were below average. I mean, we were good 12 degrees below average today. So, yeah, relatively speaking, I think you're onto something.
So no eye rolling.
No eye rolling going on over here. And it's going to be warming up as well. You're going to notice the changes. Humidity returns tonight. That's going to meet some dampness tomorrow and even Friday. And then the warming trend, it begins. And tomorrow will be well into the 70s again, back to what's average for this time of year. Let's start with our dew points. This is what's really going to change things and cause some dampness and even mugginess in the air. Dew points right now near 50 degrees. Not bad. You don't feel the humidity in the air. However, going forward here in time, look at our futurecast and that breeze coming off the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to increase that dew point steadily through the night tonight. You'll notice the mugginess in the morning, and this added moisture in the air is going to lead to some drizzle, a few sprinkles, and even some patchy fog. Just a damp start to the day tomorrow, but unfortunately, not much to show for it. Here's a good example with our futurecast. The low clouds really filling in this evening and tonight. And then on the radar screen tomorrow, we won't have a whole lot, but there will be a few little green blobs popping up here and there, and really just light in nature. We're not looking at any real significant rainfall or agriculturally significant rain, just little bits of moisture here and there. I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's not the type of rain that's really doing us a whole lot of good. Just some hit or miss, very light showers and sprinkles off and on throughout the day tomorrow. At any given time, it'll be scattered through about 40% of our area. As for the precipitation potential as a whole across the nation, I'd like to share this with you, where we have the highest potentials, where you see these darker greens. Notice we're in this lighter green section, West Texas, Panhandle, up the plains as well. Generally dry over the next 7 days. We just have a few little opportunities here and there for some minor accumulations. I wish I had better news, but right now the pattern just doesn't favor us getting the good large scale lift that we need. 65, that was our high today. As mentioned before, that's 12 degrees below average. So the record, 94, set back in 2000. That just shows you the potential this time of year. I think we'll get a little closer to that early next week. Right now, West Texas, beautiful Alpine at 78, El Paso 79. We're 64 here in San Antonio, 61 Helotes, Bulverde at 63 degrees, and Hondo at 65. Don't expect a big temperature drop overnight tonight. We're at 65 now in San Antonio. By tomorrow morning, 62. So roughly steady temperatures, relative to nighttime. We're not going to see a big drop. 57 Bernie, Bandera, and Comfort. 59 for the morning temperature in Canyon Lake. Then by tomorrow afternoon, we make it into the upper 70s right near 80. You get to the west side of town about 80 degrees. Stinson on the south side, 81. North side of town, officially at the airport, probably 78 degrees, the high temperature. Low gray clouds with some drizzles, sprinkles, and a bit of dampness through the noon hour and even early afternoon. And then a few breaks in those clouds possible later on in the day, but don't anticipate much for sunshine. Southeasterly wind at 5 to 15. And it's one of those days where it's going to be damp in the morning, but you'll see those clouds lift up a little bit as you get into the afternoon and evening hours. Going ahead, unfortunately, rain chances aren't very good. Friday, a 20% chance of a few showers, otherwise more morning drizzle. And then Sunday, late in the day, we could have a few isolated storms popping up. But notice 88 Friday, then low 90s next week.
All right, so maybe I can also say it's chilly tomorrow morning. After that, not so much.
Then you can start complaining it's hot.
Yeah.
Which I will do.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, the Spurs season quickly wrapping up. Tonight they are hosting the Jazz at the AT&T Center. The final home game of the year. Larry's live.
Yeah, it's the final home game here in San Antonio. Their other two, quote, home games will be up in Austin. We'll talk about that coming up. But, for the Spurs tonight, we asked them coming into this game, what is their goal to finish the season? And UTSA running back Kadrick Cobbs, he's hoping to stay healthy this year coming up. It is is almost time to play basketball. Hello, everybody. Welcome live to the AT&T Center, where tonight the Spurs and Jazz will hoop it up. This is the final home game of the season for the Spurs here in San Antonio. It is quickly winding down, isn't it? Now, after this game, the Spurs will have 7 left in the regular season, including 2 home games at the Moody Center in Austin. San Antonio will finish with one of the 3 worst records in the league, meaning they'll have a 14% chance, along with the Rockets and Pistons, to win the NBA draft lottery, the highest odds available. The Spurs did not hold shoot-around this morning, so yesterday after practice, they were asked what's the goal during this final stretch of games.
Yeah, I mean, it's the NBA in general. It's not just us, but it's difficult, to manage sometimes because you get a chemistry with certain guys out there and then it switches the next game. But there's no excuses in the NBA. You still got to play. You still got to show up and do your job, and we're doing that to the best of our abilities.
Is there something? Yeah, just improvements on defense, on the defensive end. Pop just keeps preaching that. We did a lot today, just scrimmaging, and if we messed up on the defensive end, on the offensive end, he corrected us on it. So we've been doing good. We've been doing good. So I feel like as long as we just keep pushing for the defensive end, we're gonna be all right.
The NBA today announced Spurs forward Keita Bates-Diop as the NBA Cares Community Assist Award winner for the month of February in recognition of his ongoing efforts around advocating and raising awareness on the importance of CPR training and automated external defibrillator accessibility to help prevent cardiac arrest incidents. Congratulations to him. Spurs Jazz tonight at 7. Keldon, Jeremy, and Devin will not play. And in the no-duh department, it's being reported that Greg Popovich, Becky Hammond, and Tony Parker are among the finalists who've been elected into the Hall of Fame. They will join Dwayne Wade, Pau Gasol, and Dirk Nowitzki. An official announcement revealing the full class is expected to come this weekend during the NCAA Final Four. In college football news, spring practice is winding down for the UTSA Roadrunners as they get ready for their first season in the AAC. And one guy who's hoping to stay healthy and see a lot of action this season is running back Kadrick Cobbs out of Denton-Guyer High School. The redshirt junior joined UTSA in 2020, but hasn't played a lot because of ACL injuries. He suffered one late in his freshman year during the First Responders Bowl, and then again early last season during a team scrimmage. He says he's close to 100%, and he's thrilled to be on the field during spring ball. That said, what's the mental challenge been for him while dealing with ACL injuries?
When you get injured, everyone wants to be on the field. That's a big thing. As a football player, you want to be on the field. You didn't come here to sit on the bench. So the biggest challenge has been, how do you still find a way to impact the team in a positive way without being on the field? So for me, that looked like helping Kavorian out, getting plays, or just keeping B. Brady encouraged, or helping all the newcomers try to learn what it's going to look like. How do we practice here? But the biggest challenge for me is finding a way to positively impact the team.
Cobb said Kavorian Barnes is a starter and that he looks forward to competing with him. That young man has a great attitude, doesn't he? Hey, and coming up on the night beat, we ran into a guy who has Pop shaved into the back of his head. We're going to have that for you on the night beat. You don't want to miss it. It's pretty cool. Guys, back to you.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah, Hall of Fame haircut. We'll be right back.
They risk their lives to protect ours, but once their mission is complete, veterans face a very different type of battle.
That transition to civilian life, it can be a difficult journey filled with intense emotions, stress, and isolation.
But there's help. Stephen Cavazos saddles up and takes us to a Texas ranch where heroes are finding healing and hope.
I've been trying to get back on a horse since the day I broke my neck.
Feel good?
I think so.
Left foot in first?
Yes. And then just swing yourself up and over.
All right. That feels pretty comfortable.
All right. Now you're going to take the left rein. You're going to pull left.
Pull left?
Yes, pull left.
All right. This is where you learn to become a cowboy, right?
Full attention, check.
Get comfortable.
Nerves, not so much. In fact, it took a little while to get comfortable here at the Stonewall Sorting Range. But once I did...
Use your right hand to pull.
Okay.
There you go. Now kick. And then go straight. Oh, we're moving, folks. We're moving.
We were off. James Holbrook understands that rewarding feeling, and he tells me for veterans coping with their mental health, it can be life-changing.
You know, when you talked about stepping onto the horse for the first time, it was that feeling of like, okay, I can't be distracted. I need to be present here. How hard was that?
It's very hard to concentrate. I mean, when your mind's always racing with your PTSD problems, it's constantly trying to find another way to think of something. So you constantly have to be present. You constantly have to maintain yourself. So you're watching this animal, because if you don't and you feel something's going wrong, you can get bucked off. I was in the United States Navy. I was a Navy corpsman with 3rd Marines out of Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii. I did my tour to Afghanistan in 2007, 2008 to the Peshawar Valley and the Korangal Valley. And you have to finish the mission, and that mission is getting home.
The mission was complete, and Holbrook was home, but his trauma followed him.
PTSD will do to some veterans, myself, what it did to me was made me want to isolate and say no to everything, because I was in my bubble, I was in my comfort zone, and I didn't want to say yes to anything. So with Semper Fi and the America's Fund, is what they did was found something that veterans can use to help come back as a group, come back and be around like-minded veterans.
Colonel John Mayer tells me the impact the program has had.
This really is designed to rejuvenate the spirit. A guy gets wounded critically or is injured or has a critical illness. You want to be able to get that spirit back and show them that they still, no matter what their disability is, they still got ability. This program's very unique in that it takes them out to big ranches out west, and they work in support of the rancher as a team, accomplishing a mission for the rancher. And usually it's something like moving cattle into a national forest permit or bringing them out, helping gather and brand their calves every year. And what they're doing now is sorting the cattle for marketing and shipping.
I decided to give it a try. I'll be honest, this rookie was pretty nervous, but with some encouragement and trust, I was in control.
The horse doesn't care about your past. It doesn't care if you've been blown up. It doesn't care that you're missing an arm or a leg. It doesn't care where you're going. What it cares about is right now, and that's the beauty of horses.
I met Richard Carson, a former U.S. Army line medic. He was seriously injured in Afghanistan back in 2010 and eventually learned to walk again using a cane. But in 2017, a terrible car crash left him paralyzed.
It was very difficult. I really had no interest in doing a lot of things. Liked to drink a lot. Didn't really want to go out anywhere or do anything.
This was his first time on the ranch and his first time getting back on a horse.
I've been trying to get back on a horse since the day I broke my neck. I had my own horses beforehand. All I did was ride horses and work, and so for me it was the opportunity to come out here. I didn't know if it was going to work very good or not, but I was like, at least I can try and see where it goes.
He did not know any of the other veterans, but placed his trust in them as he was lifted from his chair and safely saddled back into a familiar feeling.
It was amazing. It was freeing. It gets me out of the chair doing something. It's getting back to something that I love doing that helped me deal a lot with my PTSD.
Carson tells me the real healing begins when you say yes.
It doesn't matter what your disability is. If you're interested in something, there's a way to try it. It might not be the same as what you're used to in the past, but there's still a way to participate in that activity and to enjoy it.
Now, to see more of our Solutionary stories like this one, scan the QR code you see right here. That will take you to the Solutionaries YouTube channel, where you can watch these stories anytime you like.
Coming up next on the news at 6, why the new chairman of Jefferson Bank says the business is thriving and how that's helping investment in the Broadway corridor.